Hello, I'm Lynne Diverges from Spiritually Speaking Live, and again I'm here with Gary Stuart, and we're going to be talking during this segment about this phenomenal book that he's written called Many Hearts, One Soul. And Gary, can you tell us exactly what the book entails?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of information in there. I wrote it after about 5 years of experiencing being a constellation facilitator. And I've read a lot of books that other people have written about constellation work, and Bert Hellinger, even Bert himself. And I said, no one is looking at the spiritual aspect of this. How come no one is writing about the spirit, the sacred spirit that's showing up in the work? And I said, well, let me be the first one. Mm-hmm. So the subtitle of the book is An American View of the Work of Bert Hellinger and the Spiritual Aspects of the work, because I really felt that the knowing feel was actually spirit coming into the room, all-knowing, non-judgmental, totally neutral, and supportive at the same time to bring us to a place of healing. So I really felt there's a spirit behind the work that we're really accessing as a group. And it's fine to do the work one-on-one. That can be done. You can do it with a phone. You can do it with little figurines or whatever. But there's something about getting people in a circle to work on things. There's a spirit that comes through each person's body that tries to teach us. It's healing the person who's representing and the person we're working on and humanity as a whole to understand the human condition in a much more compassionate way. And that's what I really love about the work. Can we have compassion for a perpetrator? Can we have compassion for a murderer? Can we love Hitler?
Yes.
Even if we're working with a Jewish client. These people came to teach us something, to help us to learn something. And if we really can go into the deeper level rather than the surface pain, so much in our family systems we're looking at the surface pain. I was abused by my parents. Well, the big secret that shows out with this work, we would have never stayed in that family if the love wasn't so strong that we were willing to endure that pain. So one of the revelations that I've had from the work is the more pain in the family, the deeper the bond of love. Who would stay and suffer if there wasn't such an intense love or an intense lesson to learn that you had to just fight it out with these people known as your mother, your father, your brother, your sister?
And that's quite a revelation.
It really
is absolutely quite a revelation, but so true.
So a lot of people try to run from the pain and say, oh, I'm turning my back on them. They're either excluding themselves from the family or they're excluding the family. And that causes them great pain too. And what we try to do is just find a common ground where we're spiritual beings having a human experience together, and there was an opportunity to learn, and it takes a lot more energy to hold up that fight than just surrender to the resolution. And think how much extra life force we have if we just stop fighting.
Well, exactly.
Internally and externally.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's very true. Very true. So then, what have you discovered in terms of diseases? What have been the
Well, I've had some interesting cases. So I look at this work also as experimental, where we spoke earlier about epigenetics. So Nova did a special about 4 years ago on this. Actually, I think the same family in Norway, they did a TV special on PBS about it. It really intrigued me. It is on my website under announcements and www.chifield.com. I'll have it on the bottom of the ticker on the YouTube video here so you can go to it. And those triggers, so I chose a very good friend's great niece has one of the rarest forms of, it's called von Hillebrand's hemophilia. It's 1 in 2 to 3 million. That's how rare it is. She has to carry a medical textbook with her wherever she goes, because Western doctors, unless they know the brand of hemophilia, they won't know how to treat her, what factors to give her blood. She just discovered when she started her menstrual cycle, she just started hemorrhaging in the showers when it hit, and she didn't even know she was hemophilia. So my theory is, well, if her DNA could trigger clotting factor for 11 years and then have it disappear, why couldn't we go into the knowing field to see what was
happened
stopping
and
that?
Yes.
So what showed up is we started around four or 5 months ago, right around the holidays last year in 2009, and what showed up is that she was an in utero triplet. Now, what do triplets share before they really start to get bigger?
They share the same DNA,
Blood.
the same blood. Yes.
The blood.
Yes.
So they left in utero probably when there were a few cells, and they were all sharing blood together. And that's what happened with the rep. We put 2 red pillows, one on the back, one on the front. She was happy as could be. It's a triplet on the floor.
Powerful.
I talked to the mother the next day, and she said, well, that's very odd because since she's been 3 years old, she says, when I grow up, I'm going to have twins. And she's always asked for 2 dolls since she was a little girl to play with.
To make up for
So there's 3.
siblings.
Her with
Yes,
the 2
that's
babies
right.
that she knew on a soul deep, deep level. Well, sure enough, it's been 6 months now, and she was on 2 clotting factors a week, having many episodes. Some got worse after we did the work, and now she's down to 1 clotting factor a month.
Fantastic.
And they don't know how this happened. They haven't seen this happen with this particular brand of hemophilia. And it's just been incredible to watch this perfect, beautiful little girl. And we're not sure what's going to happen. I mean, it's a touch-and-go situation, but it proves to me that the epigenetic forces that either trigger the RF on or off are starting to get triggered more on than more off.
Yes.
And
yes.
that was the goal of what we were trying to do, is help this girl in a profound way. Well, and it may be her fate to die of this too. We're open to that. We're neutral to that.
Yes.
We are not God. We didn't put her here.
Because it's whatever she chooses as
right.
a spirit.
And as Spirit wants her
that.
to do as well. So we respect that. We always respect that. But if we're allowed and we have the love to help a child in need, that makes me a little sad because I'll always go out of my way for that.
Of course, absolutely.
Because they deserve it. They deserve
Absolutely.
a break. And if I can give them a break, I will do so.
Then you will. And it sounds like this works for any form of disease. This
Yes,
can be,
yes. It could be minor
done.
things. It could be addictions. It could be... You name it. I mean, anything. Not so much a broken fingernail, but I mean just anything. Alcoholism, broken relationships, even relationship issues, any kind of disease, addiction to alcoholism, career issues. I mean, you can apply the field to anything.
To everything,
even to make a
anything.
business decision. What's getting in my way? What's blocking me?
Yes.
Then the person who you put as a block starts sounding like your father. You say, oh, I haven't finished this father issue. That's
Right.
why I'm blocked in
Right.
business.
Excellent.
But then it's clearing while it's showing itself.
Yes,
That's what's
it is
great
the
about
release.
it.
That's very true. Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely,
It's
my
been
pleasure.
Been great. Absolutely great. All right.